Good morning. I'm Carla from the Alaska Wolfpack, living large in sunny Colorado. It's weird. This is like a true sunny day, but I kind of see clouds coming in. Dang it. So, yeah, this last week has been so weird, let me tell you. So, the week before last, there was a blizzard. And then that kind of went away for a few days, and it was sunny and it was nice and it got really warm. And then we had this weird lightning and thunder, rain, hail, snow shower thing that was going on. And I'm just stitching away, doing whatever. And 2 hours after the fact, I look at my phone because I'm not real good at keeping track of who's messaging me and stuff. My children hate that. They're like, Ma, 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 trying to get my attention. But I picked up my phone and there was a text message which was a severe warning alert letting me know that conditions were ripe for a I believe it said cyclone, but I thought that was a water thing. So tornado, cyclone, whatever you have. It was apparently so severe that, they're sending out the alerts. So I got that a few hours after they sent it out because they said it would be over by 6:45. The warning will be over even though the storm wasn't over. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like someone is blowing a recorder. Anyway, so by the time I looked at it, it was 8 something, and I'm like, oh, well, I live in an RV, so information like that is kind of important. So anyway, but the weather last week was real funny. It was like hot, and then it was cold, and then it was hot. And even though the temperatures have gone up and they've been in the 40s and stuff, it's felt colder than that because there's actually moisture in the air. So, yeah, so, so it was weird. So, on the good days, Lucy and I went to the dog park, tried to kill ourselves doing rounds. We did laps. We do laps, and we do good for about 5 laps around. And then after that, we start dragging back a little bit because we're not like shuffling along. We're power walking because Lucy has like this bouncy walk that she does. And I know when she's getting tired, when she's just slogging along with her head down and she's behind me. Normally she's ahead of me, showing off her butt, bouncing around, running with the dogs and everything. And, we're lucky if we get in 2 more laps, So it's a hard walk around that thing. Kill the kid with the recorder. All right. So I'm going to insert the names of everyone that was participating in the Everything is Beautiful drawing. And so you'll see that here. And now I'm going to insert the video of me rolling my beautiful dice to see who the winner is. As you can see, we're going to use our beautiful Borealis dice right here that you can see. Aren't they lovely? The universe is inside these dice. All right, so I give them a roll, and we have a 6 and a 3, which equals 9. Lucky number 9. All right. So now we know who the winner is. Congratulations, Christine Tyler. Lucky number 9. And let's move on to what have I been doing? Oh my gosh. So, as you know, I started Blue Angel Mermaid. Let's start with there. And last week was let's see, right after the last Floss Tube video, that week was the 100 stitches, and last week was the 200 stitches. So you got to do those stitches and do before and after pictures. So here's where I got on that. Dun dun dun. And I was hoping for a page finish by today, but like I said, I've been busy doing whatever I've been doing, being tired. So there's that for that. And then here is Fire and Ember. Wait, that's not going to work. There we go. That works. And I'm just filling in the lava now, and that's one of my favorite parts when you're stitching in lava and it's starting to ooze out, and it really is exciting. And then I have the pirate ship, which is coming along quite nicely, if I do say so myself. So yeah, looking good. And then there was a situation with Magical's Mamluck Sal. I was just gonna lay down and take a nap, and she says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't take a March picture of the Mamluck." She had April because she's stitched ahead so she could show you what it's gonna look like. And I was like, "Give me the pattern," and she's like, "Okay." And and so she did. She gave me the pattern and I stitched it up super quick. But now it's out so you guys can see it. It's fine. Oh gosh. There, right in front of my head. So that's stitched up pretty quickly. I mean, it's only this, part from here down. And super pretty. I'm really loving it on the gingerbread fabric, so super cool. And then I thought, I need to rest my hands because we're getting ready for the all-out berserker stitching mode stitchathon, part of the stitchathon, which starts on Monday, or actually 11:59 tonight, my time, but I don't think I'll be awake for that. So I'll be starting in the morning. So I'm sitting there thinking, I've had this washcloth on my knitting needles for a couple of years. Now I already had one made, but I didn't have the edging on it. And the reason I make these, I'll have to go get there's like all these weird noises today. Sorry. One moment. I also just noticed that there are buds on the lilac bush that's behind me here that you probably can't see. So, all right. So let me rewind this a little bit and tell you about a few years ago. Well, what was it? 2014? 2013. I don't remember. I think it's 2013. I taught a coworker, her name's Melinda. I taught her how to knit because she wanted to learn. And then suddenly she decided she was going to move to Florida, and I think it was a moment of insanity, but obviously Florida is very good for her and her daughter because they look incredibly happy there now. So she got a good job after a couple months. It was pretty cool, and apparently they've been doing really well. So, but before she left, she knitted some washcloths for me and put them in this cute little basket. So here's the basket. I'll take this out so you can see the whole basket. So it's got an orange in there, and it's orange. So some of the washcloths that she had knitted were orange and some were green, and because she knew I like those colors, you can see. These, okay, this basket was full of washcloths. It wasn't like down to the last 3 like it is now, right? I have used the holy heck out of these washcloths. I totally use them all the time, and because I taught her the seed stitch and explained to her, I wanted to make washcloths for myself because, it's less expensive and these last a lot longer than terry cloth or sponges, which get nasty. Anyway, I could just smell it now. Ugh. So, anyway, she made me this basket full of washcloths that I'm now down to 3, and as you can see, they get used hard. So I figured it was time to refill the basket, but I figured it was time to refill the basket a couple of years ago. And so I started knitting one, and it's a little too big. This is a big one. Look at that. B for victory! So, I had one knitted, but I didn't have the frill around the outside. So I put that on, and I'm like, okay, I like that. That looks cool. And then the one that was on the needles was another big size one. I don't know what that is. Is that a big kissy mouth? Mwah. So, I did this one and still agreed with myself that these are too big. So then I thought, well, let me make one a more appropriate size, and this is it right here with the frill on it. And I really like the striping. I mean, isn't that cool? Cool striping. But yeah, this looks more gooder. Anyway, so I started making those, and because I have this giant cone, I'll show you the cone. There we go. This is the giant cone, and I'm going to make as many as I can from this cone and put it in the basket. Granted, these are all wadded in there. It doesn't look like they're going to fit, but you can fit a lot of washcloths in here. Let me do this. And I'll show you. Usually I try and do it decoratively, just like Melinda had given them to me, by folding them up or rolling them up like she had them. It was like a little bouquet of washcloths. But I'll keep the basket forever, even if the washcloths don't last forever. But, you're probably wondering why, why I have gone through these washcloths, because they're pretty sturdy. But keep in mind, I don't use scrubby pads or anything like that because I don't need to. The seed stitch on there is kind of scrubby all by itself. It works really good. So once you get that washcloth in there and you start scrubbing away, after a couple washings, these get pretty, they're still soft. Let me pull out a used one here. Okay. So they're still soft, but they're tough. They've been washed a few times, they've been abused a few times, and this one's about ready to die. Oh, this is one of the ones that I made, I think, which prompted her to make them. But anyway, so even though the color fades after a while, I mean, it takes a long time for the color to fade, and again, it's been many years since these were made. So I guess we'll have to test it. Of course, I have been using things like bleach and, cleaning stuff. So that really hasn't helped to keep the color of the washcloths, but who cares? They're washcloths. So there's that rant on that. So I'm going to fill up the basket. And like I said, I'll keep this forever because it was a wonderful gift and still going strong. So there's that. And let's see, Famlek. Oh, so on March 15th, the first pre-stitch for the Spring Mystery Cell was released. I'll put Magical's link below to that. And then April 1st is going to be the second pre-stitch. And then the actual Spring Mystery Cell itself starts on April 15th. So we can all get ready for that. I've been so focused on my Stitchathon that I haven't prepared myself for anything other than what I'm doing now, because you know I'm gonna win that Stitchathon. I know I talk all big, and I've talked all big in the past, but like, let me give you an example. The first time my friend Jody had a speed stitch, that was 2009, and she did it with Celtic Peacock, and I'll show you a picture of that here. So I'm gonna have to show you the picture of the epic fail, because I'm going along and I'm pretty confident I'm in the running for a win, really. I mean, I'm super excited. I'm zipping right along. And what would happen was she would give out the new pattern, a new section of the pattern every week. And so you'd stitch it as fast as you can. And I was right up there. It's like the second that pattern came out, bam, stitched, done, you know. And super excited about it. And on the epic fail, I started in the wrong spot. But by then, if I had tried to go back and stitch everything all over again, I wouldn't have won. So at that point, for me, it was moot. I'm not going to win. I didn't quit. I just restitched the entire thing, as you saw, on 14 count white Ada. And my brother was so in love with it, he decided it was his. So he has it. It's on his boat, wherever he has it on his boat. I know it's in a tube. It's not hanging up. I don't know why. He's not enjoying it like he should. But I'm going to do a quilted frame around Blue Angel Mermaid so he can hang it up. There's a section of wall that he has on his boat that he could tack it up right there, and it would be on display forever. So that was the first kind of stitch-a-thon. And then there was a speed stitch, I think it was 2014 with Queen Bee. And keep in mind, this is all unconventional cross stitch. So the Queen Bee pattern, now that was a joy to stitch, whether you're doing it fast or not. That was just fun to stitch, because the colors are very rich. And I like rich or bold colors. So when you get to something that has, you know, something that is that bold, it's just a joy to stitch. So I'm cruising along. I know I was going to win. Now you may think that I'm delusional, but I'm not. Sadly, one of the members of the group, she had a mother who passed away. And that made me sad because at that time I was still pretty fresh from my mother passing. So, you know, I told her, I said, you know, if you just keep stitching, you know, it it won't stop you from hurting, but it'll give you something to do with your hands. And I wish that someone had been around at the time that my mom had passed and told me to do the same thing, because I know it would have helped. It would have helped to organize my thoughts. Because, you know, when you're stitching, you kind of start thinking about stuff, but then it's in the background munching away because you're watching TV or listening to something, or, you know, someone's talking to your face, you know, and you're like, I am stitching. Kind of like the concept of when you're reading a book, the minute you pick up the book, everyone needs to talk to you. And you're like, dude, really? I'm trying to escape this world, you know? So it's kind of like that with stitching a lot, actually. Anywho, so she won. She won. Yeah, had to let her win. Actually, there was someone else who snuck up from the behind. It's the quiet ones. I'm telling you. I sit there and I talk all loud and trashy to everyone, like I'm gonna win and I'm gonna be the winner, and it's gonna be the quiet one that comes in and says, "This is where I'm at today," and I'm gonna be like, "What?" But I'm gonna try my hardest. I really am. It's gonna be great. Oh, Lucy just woke up. This is nice. Good morning. Oh, she's got to stretch. Oh, yawning and stretch. How does she do that? It's so coordinated. Hello. How are you this morning? Come on, let's let you outside. I'll be right back. All right, had to go take care of Lucy. And anyway, yeah, I'm still going to try my hardest and see if I can win. Now, it's not the prizes that I'm motivated to win for. It's the title of being super awesome. Even though you know, as you all know, I'm always glad for anyone who wins, but I'm gonna win. At least I hope so. Anywho, there's one thing I forgot to share with you guys. It's sitting right here. It's so big I didn't see it. Was I finally finished stitching part 3 of the Weaver's Bird Cell. I didn't do the border that's underneath because it's only part of the border. I'm going to wait until next time to stitch that, but here's where it's at now. I don't know if you can see that. Better put my head behind it, but there it is. Lovely. And I really am pleased with how well this turned out. Obviously, it's alien plants and birds from another era or maybe another planet. But I like my colors. It's very vibrant, so I'm going to stick with those. See what happens. And oh my gosh, there are some amazing color choices on the Weaver's Bird Cell this year, and I am just blown away. Every time I look at somebody else's stuff, I'm like, wow, I could have just done one color. It looks really good. Or, you know, why didn't I choose these colors? You know, I didn't because I'm me, and these are the colors I chose. Can't wait for the next band to start because we're going to be picking new colors for that one as well. So, yes, very fun. So, that's pretty much all I have today. Let me check the list. Yep. So yeah, if you want to get in on the Spring Mystery Cell, I'll put the link for the group down below, and you can join the group and get in on the 2 pre-stitches, and then, you know, stitch with us during Easter weekend. Some people don't do anything Easter weekend. Some people use that as a reason to get together. Some people are religious. It's whatever your thing is. You don't have to be right there stitching every time a piece of the pattern is released. So a pattern is released every couple of hours, and you know, but then there are some of us who, like myself, but that's only on New Year's Eve. I wasn't like that on the spring sale for last year. And I have that. I made that one into a biscornu. So let me show you how lovely it can be before I let you go. Um, this is normally by my sewing machine because this is where I keep the pins for what I'm sewing. But this was last year's spring mystery sale. Isn't that pretty? And then you get the back side. That's upside down. There we go. And there it is, the mystery cell for 2018. I can't think, I can't speak, and I certainly can't read today. But yeah, I think it's really pretty. I can get in there close so you can see all the prettiness. I used old Jody reflosses, I believe. I'll have to look it up for sure, but I think I did, just for funsies. And it came out so delicate and pretty. So, and the fabric is sparkly. So I don't know if you can see. Oh, there. Ah, sparkly fabric. So yeah. So come join. If you haven't joined already, I really think you should. The patterns are free. You don't have to pay anything except your time. And if you have nothing better to do over the Easter weekend, then why not come stitch with us? So, of course, if you have an unconventional cross stitch pattern and you want to start it or you want to put some work into it, this week would definitely be the week to do that because, well, you'll win prizes. I think there's going to be a bag, and I can't remember what else is going to be a part of the prizes, but Jody's really good about putting a bunch of goodies in with the mail and sending you a surprise package. She's almost as bad as I am. So that's what I have for today, and thank you so much for joining me today, and for my new subscribers, thank you very much. I hope everyone has a beautiful day, and don't forget, Christine Tyler, that get on my Instagram, let me know which project bag you want from my Etsy store, and I'll pull that down and get that mailed off to you post haste. So that's actually funny. Isn't that like a pun, post haste? Because it's going in the post. Hasty, like, I don't know. And until next time, keep on stitching.